Okay, let's talk about the nice girl persona. Um, the mask that the nice girl wears to get their needs met, and how we can stop, behaving in these ways by looking at the why behind it, the beliefs, the core beliefs, and and understanding. There's so many women, so many women and men, this is applicable to, that behave as or wear the nice person mask and behave in these ways, and then go throughout their life feeling taken advantage of, feeling like their needs not being met, feeling like they're in narcissistic relationships. But these connections that you're engaging in, whether they're romantic or platonic, they're mirroring something to you. And what you need to realize is the nice person mask that you're wearing is just as manipulative as the people, the narcissists, or the people that are taking advantage of you, or people who are engaging in toxic connections with you, or you're behaving toxically and wounded by being the nice person. And you really need to ask yourself, why am I being nice? Why am I being nice? And there's a very big difference between being nice and being kind. So being nice comes from a place of, I will behave in this way to get my need met, to get to either keep someone close, like prevent you from experiencing rejection or abandonment, or to get something that you need or want, whether that's surface level, like friendship, connection, status, help, guidance, or it could be deeper than that, validation, love, whether you want someone to spend more time with you, whether you want someone to hear, help you to feel seen or heard, whether you want something from them, basically. So you behave in that way to get that. Or whether it makes you feel better, which is what I talked about briefly before. Like, you behave as the nice person, you people please because it makes you feel good about yourself. Like, I'm the nice person, I'm the nice girl or boy that is there for everyone and shows up for everyone. It makes you feel good about yourself. And yeah, like I say, really asking yourself, why I'm being nice, because that's nice. Kind is different. Like, when you're coming from it from a place of an open heart, fully in alignment, high vibration, your cup is completely full, it's very easy to give to people. It's very natural. You're able to just give from a place of, I'm already full and I want to share this with you. Of course, I don't mind doing that for you, or I would like to do this for you, but it's not because you want something back. It's not transactional, and you are not, there's no ulterior motive. You're not behaving as the nice person so that you can get something. You're just being kind. You're just sharing your heart space. You're just sharing your energy. You're sharing your love. You don't need anything back from them. So that's where there's a difference. Like, be kind, don't be nice. Get rid of the nice person mask and realise that it is a mask. It is a defence mechanism that you are wearing, so you can stop blaming other people and feeling resentful towards other people, when you are a lot of the conflict that is caused in connections is because you've behaved in a certain way and had an expectation of what you would get back, and then that hasn't been fulfilled. Then you feel like you've overgiven and not received back. Well, you was manipulating someone. You was behaving in a certain way to get a need met, and that's often what being nice is. And we do this, we behave in this way because there's many reasons. First and foremost, we can start behaving nice. We can start acting nice towards people because we're afraid of conflict, and we're incapable of being direct and communicating directly what we require, because we have learned that it's not okay to speak up for ourselves, that it's best that we suppress our needs and our desires, that we shouldn't. And you could be afraid of conflict in the fact of keeping the peace. Like, I'm going to be a nice person to keep the peace because you're afraid of the conflict or afraid of that person, and it's easier for you to be nice than it is to tell them to piss off, because that will escalate and be even more triggering. And it comes down to being afraid to ask for what you want. Like I say, really like these learned behaviours, and people pleasing is one that I talked about before. And it comes down to core values of I am not worthy of receiving love just as I am. Just without being this nice person, take the mask off and just be you. Like, I don't want to be nice. I wore the nice mask for 3/4 of my life. I'm not a nice person. I'm kind, but I'm not nice. And I don't want to go back to being nice, because that mask was a defense mechanism that I wore because I didn't believe I was worthy of receiving love just as I am. I believed that I needed to behave in certain ways for people to connect to me, for people to see me, for people to validate me, for people to love me, to stop people from leaving, to stop people from rejecting me. If I wanted something, like, this is where it can become quite manipulative as well. Like, if I wanted something from someone, I would start being extra nice rather than just being like direct and to the point. And I learnt this, it was mirrored to me in many of my connections by people who did that back to me, and it was showing me, like, I would get very irritated by this people pleasing, like, indirect nicey behaviour that was very false and very manipulative. And it was coming from a place that the people that would do that towards me was because they also had fears of abandonment, rejection. They also had fears of conflict. They also didn't see their value. So they would behave in those ways rather than being very direct. And I used to find it really irritating and be like, just get to the point. What do you want? Like, and then I'll say yes or no. And then that's when it made me realise, like, oh my God, I behave in that way. Like, but really looking at the fear behind why I was incapable of being direct. Like I said, it came up to fears of not being able to speak my truth, that's suppressing my needs and desires, fear of conflict. But wearing that nice person mask is not doing you no favours, like, and really understanding that the reason you're nice is because you don't see your true value, you don't see your worth, you don't believe your needs are important, so you wear this nice person mask to get your needs met. And it's actually super manipulative and makes the other people feel shitty too, because they're aware that you're being manipulative. They're aware that you're doing things and saying things and acting in certain ways to get something from them, which makes them too feel like abused or taken advantage of, or which is how you're feeling as the nice person. Like, I always do all of these things for people, and I do this and I do that, and they take advantage of me, or they treat me this way, or they're a narcissist, or I'm this. Well, so are you. But just because the narcissist or narcissism is usually, unless it's covert, like overt narcissism is very obvious. Covert narcissism is people pleasing, is being the nice person. You're just a narcissist with a flower and a big smile, basically. And that's why I constantly go on about the fact that I'm not going to be sharing about, oh, the narcissist this, the narcissist that, because, it's pointless. If you're behaving in these ways, you're behaving just the same way, but just with a prettier glaze on it, and we can do it for lots of other reasons as well. Sometimes when we're feeling insecure or jealous of another person, we can start being the nice to people because we think we can gain some control. Like, you might be feeling jealous of another woman or inadequate, so instead of like reflecting on, oh, I'm feeling a little bit crap about myself, why? And instead of coming at it from a very divine place of like, wow, I'm really inspired by that woman, like, she's beautiful, she's successful, she's really good with her work, she's got all of this stuff going on, we'll be either resentful towards them and project our bullshit on them, or but the nice girl doesn't necessarily do that. The wounded nice girl persona will then bring that person closer to them and start befriending them or being super supportive, when really deep down, you don't actually resonate in terms of a friend at all. You're just being friends because if you could be friends with this person, then that will make you gain some kind of control, and usually you start covert narking them. Like, further along down the line, there'll be some kind of covert narcissism that takes place where they're belittling you, copying you, making remarks, all sorts of things like that. And it all, like I said, it all comes down to these deep core beliefs that I'm not worthy of receiving love, that I must do or be something to get my needs met, to receive love, to be in a connection where I'm seen, heard. Like, No, you don't have to do nothing. Just be you. You don't be nice. It's not a nice vibe to be around. Like, it feels like, actually. Like, now that I'm coming at it from a different, like, I've behaved in that way my whole life. But now that I'm coming at it from a different way, when someone's being nice and, like, wearing that mask, it gives me the ick. I'm like, ooh, I can feel them. I'm like, it's so fake, it's so false. Like, show me your true self. Like, be direct with what you want. And I know this is easier said than done, because, like, these core beliefs and learnt behaviours are deeply embedded. So, you know, it's very hard for us to be direct with our needs when our needs it's never been okay for us to express them. It's very hard for us to believe that we are deserving of love when we have always been shown that we haven't been. But that's why you have to give yourself all of this stuff. You have to see your true value. You have to know that you're worthy of love, warts and all. Do you know what I mean? Like, addressing these behaviours is showing yourself that you have love. Like, okay, I behave in this way because I don't feel worthy of love. Wow, I thought I was being nice to people. I thought that I was a kind person. No, you're pretending to be kind, but you're doing it because you want something back. Like I said, if you're doing it without any motive, then it's completely different. But this is for people who are, like, sitting there feeling shit on themselves, like, and taken advantage of. You know, you bring it on yourself. Like, if you had a high level of worth and value and knew that you deserved to receive love, then you wouldn't behave in those ways. Therefore, you wouldn't attract people that would take advantage of you, because you'd have a high boundary. You know, like, it'd be like, nah, do you know what? Like, this is the standard. Give and take, mate. Give and take, or not at all. And you wouldn't, you know, there's a lot of conflict caused in relationships where people are resentful towards each other, when it's just down to unclear communication. Like, you're trying to be something, they're trying to be something. It's all game playing, it's all, like, mask wearing, it's all, like, defense mechanisms that we use to get our needs met. And you know, being nice, you see this, you learn this as well through authentic connections, because when you stop being nice and you can actually be a bit of a dick, or, like, quite selfish, or you're doing things and people still show up for you, they're actually happy that you're being direct and being like, I want this. Then you give someone an opportunity to say yes or no. Like, if you're just, like, flowering around the subject and being really, really nice in hope that someone will treat you nice, and then they don't, then you're pissed off, like, oh my God, they treated me so badly, I've been nothing but nice. But you was being manipulative. You weren't being kind. You weren't doing all of that just because you're a high vibrational person that wants to share this and give this. You were doing it because you wanted them to give you something back. You wanted them to be nice. People are kind to each other because they share that connection and they want to do it. If you are pretending to be nice because you hope that someone will reciprocate it, you hope that someone won't leave you, you hope that someone won't reject you, you hope that they'll see your value, that's never going to happen. You can hope as much as you want. It's never going to happen, because you don't see your value. You are not meeting your needs, and you're only behaving in that way to get your needs met. So can we just stop being a generation of, but I'm so nice, and just, all right, be kind. Be kind when you can, and be kind to yourself. You know, like, again, like I say, these are learned behaviours. You can't, it's a shadow behaviour, and it comes from, like, those core beliefs that I spoke about. You have to work on those core beliefs and unlearn those beliefs that you know, like, you are worthy of love just as you are. You don't have to be all nicey. You don't have to manipulate people to want to see and be with you. Like, if they don't want to spend time with you, if they don't want to connect with you, if they don't see your value, if they don't want to work with you, if they don't want to be your friend, then they don't want to be your friend, partner, connection, whatever they don't want to. Like, no amount of niceness is going to make someone see your value. They either see your value or they don't. It's very, very black and white like that. Like, it's just that all these, like, when, like, you know, someone, you're desperately trying to get someone to see it, your core wounds of rejection and abandonment get triggered, and then you start thinking, I'll be nice if I be nice, if I be nice, if I do this, if I do that, they'll pick me to work with, I'll be the best partner in business, I will be the best partner in a relationship. I will be the best friend that I can be. They will see how amazing it is to have me in my life. Then they still don't see how amazing you are, because really and truthfully, they've never got to see the true you anyway. You've been wearing the nice girl mask. So when they don't see you, it just reinforces the wound of, I'm not worthy of receiving love. I'm not good enough. You're just re-traumatizing yourself by wearing the nice girl mask. Like, take the fucking mask off. Be who you are. If people don't like it, then they can leave. And I'm not saying this as if like I'm insensitive. Like, I wore the nice girl mask my whole life, but it didn't get me anywhere. It didn't get me any closer to sharing deeper connections. It didn't get me any closer to feeling of value. It didn't make me feel good about myself at all. It was just re-traumatizing myself and reiterating the belief that I'm not deserving of love just as I am. So, I've got to be nice. I must be nice to people. I must behave in this way because I'm scared to say what I want. I'm scared that if I say this to them, they'll leave me or reject me. I'm scared that I'm not worthy enough. I'm insecure. Like, it was just reinforcing them all the time. These people that were in my life were just mirroring that to me more and more and more, till I could start seeing that there was so much value to me just as I am. I didn't need to be nice girl Laura to get colleagues, to get clients, to get partners, to get friends, to get people to notice me, to get people to value me. Like, it was all a mask, like I say, a persona that I put on in to try and get something from people. So you can really ask yourself, like, why am I being nice? Why am I being nice right now? Is it because I want something from someone and I'm too scared to say what I really want? Is it because I think I'm going to lose them and it's to pull them close? Is it because, bring the enemy close, like you're scared of conflict and, being nice to them kind of diffuses the situation rather than putting a boundary in and telling them to piss off? Like, am I being nice because I'm hoping that they will reciprocate that? I'm hoping that eventually the more nice I am, that they will see my value and finally pick you because you're just so nice. Like, really ask yourself, why am I being nice? And 9 times out of 10, you're being nice because it's a learned behaviour. You're not being kind. When it comes from a place of kindness, like I said, there is no ulterior motive. You are just sharing yourself, your love, who you truly are, and you don't need anything back. And that you can't possibly be re-traumatized, because even if you're direct and you say so, like you're giving because you're just doing it, and they don't receive it in the way that you want to be received, you're not bothered, because you're just giving because you love them anyway. Like, it's unconditional. Like, it stops your connections being so transactional. It stops resentment. It stops you re-traumatizing yourself. But you have to really look at the core beliefs that are behind this behavioural trait, behind this learnt behaviour. And you have to really look at why you suppress your needs. And it goes down to like inner child healing and shadow work as usual. And right now is a really good time for you to be doing this sort of stuff. Like, we're in the dark of the moon. The new moon is on the 16th of August. We've got lots of planets, I think nearly 7 planets in retrograde at the moment, which is a good time to really sit with yourself and be like, why is this happening? Why am I doing this? Like, why? And then look at that core belief and unlearn that belief, and unlearn the belief that you are not worthy of receiving love just as you are. Like, you don't need to be nice, and you don't need to wear this nice girl mask, and you won't possibly be able to resonate or connect with everyone. We're not meant to. There'll be certain people that we resonate and connect with, and certain people that we don't. And by being the nice girl, you don't give these people the opportunity to see who you are. You are literally showing them what you think they want to experience, and that's not fair on them either. Like, they're not getting to see the true you, because it's a mask. So take the mask off, stop being nice, be kind if you want to be kind, but start really looking at this nice girl persona and how it needs to be gone now. No more nice girl, no more people pleasing, no more codependency. Work on your core beliefs, your values, and work on knowing how you are worthy of receiving love, and then you won't be jealous of other people, you won't be manipulative, you won't be insecure, you won't be the nice girl. Like all of these things that we do, the nice person that we'd be nice to other women when we don't really like them. I can't tell you how many times I've done it myself in the past, and how many women have done it to me, pretended to like me, just pretended to support me because they were jealous or insecure of me. And I've done it, like I said, in the past. I've pulled women closer to me that I was jealous of in a hope that I could control this situation. You can't control anything external to you, but you can control yourself. And, let it go now, please. Let's stop being a world of nice girls. It's not attractive. No one wants a nice girl anymore.